Hey everybody, welcome to Pencil for Life. This is the one and the only Brad. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing good. Um, Today I got a interesting conversation I'm going to have with Mr. Kevin Roditeli. Is that pronounced right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Kevin has done Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaigns, and we're going to be asking about how you market yourself, how to gain followers, during the campaign, how to, you know, uh, get successful at it. Because I'm launching campaigning for starting my campaign next week for my book, Handyman, and this man has already done it and made some good money at it. So, anyways, I brought him on, especially because I met you yesterday, right, Kevin? I believe, on Tyler's channel, Drawn Talk.
Yeah. I love Taylor, man. You
Yeah,
do like a great show, and I think one of the most entertaining and where you learn the more than other comic book shows on YouTube because it's really about the creation and the process of comic book the behind the scene, and not about like the issue number 13 of Avengers. So it's
yeah.
a show I really love, and there is so much like upcoming creators, and there is some creators with experience on the show. So it's really interesting to see this bunch of folk having fun together on the channel. It's a really cool community. So good job, Taylor.
Yeah, Tyler's an awesome dude. So if you want to check out Tyler, by the way, it's Drawn Talk. He does several shows a week normally. He's a great dude. He's actually the one who's writing Handyman. He's my writer, so I know you're a writer too. So shout out to writers right now. Just want to say hi to Joshua Hughes in the chat and Tank Ferret. I know you're here early. Thanks, guys. So, for people who don't know you, Kevin, tell us a little bit about you, what you've been doing for the last couple of years, and kind of why. Give them a sense of why I brought you on today.
Sure. I actually own 25 McDonald's, and
Nice.
I love Big Macs.
Okay.
That's my life.
All right, dude.
No, for real, I've been a publisher for between 2015 and 17, I think,
Mm-hmm.
around that, like 2-3 years. I co-own a publisher company with Rob Cannon, who is the artist of my current series. We have stopped to publish because we wanted to create, because publishing was taking all our time, and we doesn't have like a big budget to really run the company. Like we will have one to push the publishers, the creators we publish. So we stop it. We sell the company, and we started dedicating ourselves to create.
Mm-hmm.
Glacial, the book that I'm working on right now, and the series, the universe, and the EP, and the movies, and the game, the video game. It's fucking big, man. It's the next Lord of the Ring.
Okay.
No, without pretension. So we are working on that right now. We got the first one that have been funded on Kickstarter in June. More than 450%, something like that, funded on Kickstarter, and we open an in-demand campaign for everyone that has missed a Kickstarter for the number one of Glacial. We've been on that book for around a year and a half now, nearly 2 years. So the number one is coming out next month, and after we're gonna do a second Kickstarter in September of this year to complete this series. So it's gonna be, you got a number one in a month or two,
Mm-hmm.
and after you're gonna get the rest of the series in a kind of exclusive trade paperback for Kickstarter, and after we're
Nice,
gonna
nice,
make a release in comic book store.
cool. And so this is what, your second project, right? At least I saw on Kickstarter and Indiegogo.
I've been part of around 25.
25. Whoa.
But not my own. Actually, it's the first project that is a personal project. But since I've been a publisher, and also I run a small company that is called Comic Book Marketing, that I make consulting, that I build Kickstarter campaign, that I help other creators with social media and selling their stuff. So I've been helping people with their Kickstarter for a long time, and it's just the first project that it's mine.
Okay.
But I've been working on Kickstarter for a while. Yeah.
Cool. What? Okay, so I brought you on for my own selfish reasons because I want to learn from you on how to market my book, right?
Motherfucker.
Oh, I know, right? So, how do I, how does one go about starting to market themselves to become successful on either platform? I told you ahead of time, I think I'm going to be running Kickstarter first and then Indiegogo second. So how do I end up going about showing that out there, getting people drawn in, starting that, frenzy, buying frenzy, you're wanting to buy the book, things like that. So
I think that the big mistake that a lot of traders make, it's they start the campaign the day that they decide to launch it. So, for example, you launch on February 1st, they start the promotion on February 1st, but actually the campaign is like 3 months before you launch your campaign because, we all have a limited budget. We all have not the Bill Gates pocket. So we cannot support a lot of creators. We cannot support a lot of projects, but we will love. But now the problem, or not a problem, but the change of the comic book industry, it is that every fucking creator run a crowdfunding. So you need to take advantage of that and understand the market. So that's mean that there is more reader on crowdfunding platform than ever because now you got guys like Alan Moore that did a Kickstarter, So it's crazy. So all the readers of comic book industry in the United States know about Kickstarter, and there is graphic novel on Kickstarter and stuff like that. So there is an infinity of possibility, but you just need to be the biggest one at the moment and let know people like if you were actually making a book released through Diamond and Comic Book Store, there is a pre-order 3 months before you can buy it in the shop. It's the same thing. You need 3 months before let know the reader that you got a book coming out. And so it's really important that you make a pre-campaign and you start with a Facebook event. The Facebook event is like the greatest thing in the world to sell your book before and build an audience. Go on every platform, talk about it, and let know the date and be ready. Newsletter. So I would just like drop some stuff, but like Facebook even newsletters. Twitter, it's a great tool to sell. I think that there is no better place to sell to direct customer than Twitter right now. Instagram, it's a good way to promote, but a bad way to sell because you cannot put your link wherever you want.
They just changed that though. They just added links not too long ago.
Yeah, in the bio, but you cannot like put it directly in the description.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we are lazy when we are on social media.
That's true. Yeah.
Not a lot of people would go like read. It's already like a big thing if someone stop and look at your drawing or your image. Like it's crazy. Thank you, man. And after, if they go in the description, you read it, it's like he is a fucking fan. And if you read it and see link in the bio and actually go on your profile and click on the link, it's actually your brother or your girlfriend. So Twitter is Instagram is a bad place to sell, but it's a really good place for a reminder and let know that you got an AP out to people. It's the place that you got the best engagement. Like Instagram, you reach more on that platform. What is really interesting about Facebook, I love Facebook personally because with the profile, you can really engage into the community. I honestly, you won't reach a lot of readers on Facebook. You will connect with other creators. But never forget that creators are also readers because you don't make comic book if you don't read comic book. That's pretty rare.
That's true. That's true.
So and to be honest, that has been my strategy since the beginning. I've been connecting and talking with other creators and showing them that I'm interested. I'm truly interested. I'm not saying like I'm playing a game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's really important, I think, to engage with them because they will have a probably a project coming up, and you could add them and build a community around that. And
yeah, that's that social currency Tyler was talking about before, where help promote you, you help promote me, back and
yeah,
forth.
it's something that most of the time you will do without thinking of you're doing in some
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
It's work. So Facebook is really powerful for that, like having a group of creator, artists, and writer that support each other. And I think that this is where it's really happening. But
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, you're gonna reach directly to readers.
Yeah.
That's what interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest moment where you gonna reach new readers, it is on Kickstarter or while you run your crowdfunding. You are out there showing your product to the world. Kickstarter now, it's a distributor like Diamond Distribution. It's just a different type of distribution. I really think that it's kind of the future of pre-orders.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on a crowdfunding right now, it's not for a maybe happening project. It's for a pre-order of a project. So that's a big different mindsets that have changed through the years. I've been running Kickstarter for like 3 or 4 years, and what I've seen, the big change from the consumer, it is now people pre-order and are not supporting a potential project.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this year, I think something that has really changed in 2018, it is that for consumer, since it is a pre-order place, now that has been, I think that is because that there is now a big publisher like IDW or there was even image traders and stuff like that did bring consumer that were not web consumer but shop consumer to Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So now there is the culture of I want it now, or I want a complete product to consume now. So it's pretty really hard to kickstart issues that you will delete like 3, 4, 5 months after your campaign, and after they will wait another 5 months for the next Kickstarter, and after another fate. So you cannot run issues. I think the issues is pretty dead on Kickstarter.
Yeah, you'd have to. So we're like Tyler and I. We're doing a giant contained story, 48 to 52 pages. That's our story. So it's like a little mini trade type thing. So it's a complete run of a story, but we leave an open ending for a possible second story. But
that's the best thing you can do on crowdfunding right now, I think. Yeah, you are on the right track. And to be honest, like I might sound like someone is making like the perfect plan and knowing what he does, but I fucking don't know it like anyone. I'm just like playing the fucking Gary Vaynerchuk right now.
Yeah. I mean, you have a little more experience than I do. Yeah, because I did the typical first mistake. I went, oh look, handyman. I got the artwork done. I got the story outlined. We got half the script ready to go. I'm going to throw my artwork up there. And I didn't know anything about self-promotion. I just went day one, and I had it up for 60 days and only caught traction after 60, right around the 60-day mark, 1 week before. And so I only got to like 50% funded. So
yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm dumb. I didn't know what I was doing. I got some good advice later, so I pulled it down, refunded everybody. And so my rookie mistake, I don't want anybody else to make a rookie mistake. Don't do what I did. So this is why we're here, because I want to learn from you, from everybody else, what to do, what not to do, how to go about it. But yeah, I totally made that rookie blunder like you were talking about earlier. So
yeah, and I think that it's really important to always be learning, because at some point, if you're not learning, it's probably that you got a really big ego problem. So, but what I've learned from my previous and like 25th campaign or something like that, I don't really know them, but my first personal project with Glaxial on Kickstarter, it is that I will never do issue Kickstarter after. It's for that I said that my next Kickstarter is going to be a small graphic novel that will have like the number 2, number 3, number 4. That is the rest of the Glaxial first miniseries. the reason why it is that the turnaround is too slow with issues on Kickstarter. So
Yeah.
the demand from the backers and the readers, they want it faster. It's normal, you know. An issue is like 24 or 30 pages, really, depending on the size you do, but it's nothing more than that. So, would you wait? Would you read like 24 pages and wait 6 months or more to read the next 24 pages? It doesn't make sense on a reader point of view. And something I understand. I'm like, man, you suck. Why you did not think that before? But but yeah, it's something I really understand now. Now I really want to push. Like my first one is an issue of 32 pages, so it's already like bigger than a traditional issue. So it can be like a small trade. I try to convince myself, but but like the second one, it's going to be like the book will be already finished. It's something that we want because
Uh-huh.
it's a problem I had with the first this first. It is that the book was like 80% finished or something like that when we were on the Kickstarter. So I was like, okay, we're gonna delete it like 2-3 months after. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
And because of anxiety and maybe like movies that I've watched after book I've watched, I got like different inspiration, new thing that I want to tell through it. And since the book was not finished, I feel that I had the liberty to still play in the world and still build the book. I'm really proud of what we did, and I think that that's the best version we could have of the book. And but the book it will be only delivered in 1 month and was supposed to be delivered in August.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. Mm-hmm.
so that's something I will change now. That my all my product going to be finished when I do the Kickstarter. So it will be to back in what I've put in production. So Glaxial issues around 3,000 USD for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pay the 3,000 to the production. I want to get back from the Kickstarter. So it's gonna be more now since the trade paperback is coming up. So it's gonna be around 10K. So we're gonna raise 10K for the trade.
Okay, so a new guy like myself, starting my second campaign again. Um, I've been going around to different shows, starting my YouTube channel. Got a decent following going now. It's slowly building to this. The coming out next week where I'm going to be showing finished artwork, things like that. What do I need to lay down now to start that campaign going forward on Kickstarter? And then because I'm going to go Kickstarter first, I am going to go Indiegogo second. I know you have a preference of Kickstarter over Indiegogo. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm fully Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
and the reason why it is that Kickstarter has a community on the platform. It's
Mm-hmm.
and something that Indiegogo doesn't have, or maybe if you're a part of Comicsgate and stuff like that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem for some creators that think that now Indiegogo is a thing. It is if you're part of Comicsgate, but if you're not, like me, it's not a thing. You know, it's just like it's. I would not say a lie, but it's actually when you look at it, you feel it is, but it's just like the Comicsgate community backing Comicsgate creators. Nothing versus that. They're doing their thing, and it's great for them. But I'm not part of it. So for me, it's not a place that I or for any other creator that are not part of it, there is no community on it, and
I get you.
it's been like that forever. It
Mm-hmm.
just like right now, it's looked like there is, but no, there is not. It's just
So,
backing them. So
I run a local comic shop
yeah.
in town. So I had the unique experience of actually knowing what it's like to work at a store, order comics, things
Mm-hmm.
like that on a monthly basis. So it gives me some unique insight. And it's also giving me unique insight because I'm a Comicsgate fan. I am part of that community type thing. And I like the idea of Indiegogo, but I don't want to isolate myself to just one circle, because there's so many other people out there you could reach and tell stories to, that to just confine your goal to just one circle of funding so that only a certain group see it. I think people forget to reach out, and they got to build fans. They gotta be able to have your own beliefs and stand up for them. But you got to reach out and show the olive branch to other people and say, hey, look, man, this is a great book. I just want you to check it out, type thing, so you can build new fans, because the typical model for comics, for especially local stores, is completely dying.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. I've also run a comic book store for 3 years before I made my own. At the same time, I was running a comic book publishing company, and yeah, for indie comics, I think it's not something that doesn't work. I think now we need to find a way to come. It's what I'm doing with Glaxial. I think that crowdfunding and online sales is complementary with what you're doing in shop. Just think outside the box. For example, what I'm gonna do with Glaxial, to be straightly honest, that I did not talk about before, it is I'm gonna kickstart all in trade paperback, like I said now. But after I'm gonna re-release in issue format for shop distribution.
Okay.
So like that, my production is covered. I have my backer that got their exclusive thing, but I still got my monthly going to shop because, like and like everyone know, there is a lot of customers that doesn't go on Kickstarter or can miss your campaign. So it's a way to actually bring back to the customer that you miss and start making store singing and stuff like that. And so I think it's really, really important that you don't limit yourself to just one market. There is so many Kickstarter that same thing, creators that just go on Kickstarter and after don't put their book on Comixology, don't put their book on every fucking platform you could. Man, you're a losing customer and potential future readers or whoever want. You can even find the dude that's gonna send you a deal for a movie on Comixology. It's just really, really important to put everywhere the book you can. So and it's something that I've understand looking at other creators like Pat Shawn. It's a creator that I love that run a lot of graphic novel on Kickstarter. It's my reflection on graphic novel on Kickstarter has started by looking at that guy business model. So what do you do with Kickstarter with his its own company, graphic novel of 5 or 6 issues on Kickstarter, and after he re-release in issues directly on Comixology. But he doesn't. I don't think he push it in shop and print the issues. But what I want to do, it's take this and push it to another level. Like we did on Kickstarter. And I honestly, I call my backers not backers, I call them producers. So when I write to my backers, I say, hey, producers, what we gonna do? I really want everyone that backed my project to feel like they are part of it and that they created something. So for me, with the producers, it's not like you back it something that everyone would get after and something like that, because there is a lot of creators that think that it's need to be something exclusive. It's need to be something exclusive if they're not part of the thing. But if you take everyone that did bring your project to life and you say to them, hey guys, we're going to bring this to Hollywood and you're part of it. Now they're part of the journey. They're not just customers. Your backers are now.
You're getting them invested in becoming fans of the project,
Yeah, and it's them project. Everyone that did put $1 in it, it's your project, because without your dollar, I will have never done that book. It wasn't possible for me to make a book that's gonna make $0. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So for me, it's important that after the Kickstarter, it's never die. Like, hey guys, now put it through this publisher. Like, fuck yeah, Image Comics. I hope it's possible, but why not? And we did it. And well, you know what? I'm gonna deal with a publisher that your name gonna be in the credits. Like you are 500 guys. I don't care, man. I want a space for 500 person that are producer of the project, and we're gonna bring it to the world. I publish it in China. Your book gonna be in the China version.
That's
and
cool.
We are part of Journey, and I think it's really important that you include your backer into the project. That's something that not a lot of creator does. That. Hey, it's your project as well. It's not just my project that you did put money in it. So I think that's something really important to deal with backers. I don't sound perfect. I'm really bad with communication, but
no, you're good. You're coming through just fine. So I can understand you. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that one of the most important thing after the project is actually to bring your backer, be part of the journey and part of the part of the project.
Now, okay, so that's after they're part of the journey. You want to engage them as you're going along with the project, but when I start to go to posting my project up on Kickstarter, up on Indiegogo, how do I engage? I mean, there's the initial page where you can engage them, pull them in, right? You see on the page, but how do you? Oh God, how much I think? How do you? I guess how you treat them would make them as a lifelong fan. How you make sure you
Yeah.
product on time, make sure you deliver on deliver on any promises you make, that you engage with them, you talk to them, acknowledge them directly. Those are standard sales techniques to make them feel welcome into your circle, but
that's something I've learned. I've stopped to make promises because I'm the kind of dude that was like saying, yeah, we delivered the book in 2 weeks, but actually in 2 weeks I'd not finished the script,
Mm-hmm.
So now what I do, I just close my mouth on that point. But what's important in your promotion and how you're going to build up the book, I think is, first of all, brand yourself as something. I brand myself as the funny young dude, just like living the dream. And that's what I'm doing, actually. In 10 days, I go to California with my artist. We're gonna make like a little documentary out there because he live in California. Like I take the plane 10 hours and go see him and finish the book. So I'm gonna make a video.
Glacial artist, right?
Yeah, Rob Cannon on
Rob Cannon. Let me I'm gonna throw it up on the screen real quick while we're talking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go right ahead though. Keep going.
So yeah, I bring myself at that dude, like the like hyper energetic kid from another country that just like go living the American dream with his thing and try to be like fucking cool. But and I think that you need to build like not a persona, because I'm myself, but I mean show off yourself. Like say, hey, like Taylor do. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I think he's really good at that. Like he show his character to the world and build up with that. I show my character as well, and I build up with that.
Yeah.
And so you use yourself to be your brand. For example, what I'm doing right now is I'm pushing on the post-apocalyptic goal. I'm going so hard to say that word, but post-apo dude, more simple. So what I do to reach your audience, for example, my book, I see it explicitly is really influenced by the Fallout video game franchise. So I go and follow group on Facebook. Like there is so much fans out there. Like there is a group of 50,000 guys in it. And I said, okay, man, I'm a big fan. It's for that I created that book and blah, 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 blah. And I just connect with them. And we talk about the games. We talk about that. And they get a copy of Glaxial. And that's something important. For example, you're making something similar to Resident Evil. I don't know what's your book, but to be honest, let's chat of your book after that. I want to know what you made with Taylor. I'm fucking curious. But yeah.
All right.
But so, for example, you make something similar to Resident Evil, go into Resident Evil chat and chat with the dude, be part of the community because you're one of the fans. It's for that you're creating that EP. So be part of that and just create an army of zombies that are going to be ready to do whatever they want for you. So my EP is Glaxial right now. I'm going to push it for a year, maybe 2, maybe 3, and work on no other thing. And probably I'm going to stop if, for example, I start selling like 1 copy per issue. I'm not that stupid, but my goal with that, it is that don't spread yourself into too much project. That's something I've learned from the past, that I was like running 10 projects at the same time and nothing was coming out. So now I only focus on that EP and I'm developing it. And I'm creating a cool fan base with that at the same time of developing my personal brand as a post-apocalyptic lover that can be in follow groups, can talk for an hour of the new Mad Max movie and stuff like that, because I'm selling post-apo and I love post-apo. When there is a post-apo movie coming out, I will be at the premiere like crying because it's so cool. So I think it's really important to brand yourself related to what you are and what you're selling. I think that's the starting point. Like learn who you are before selling any product.
Okay. All right. That's
that was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. So when I'm making like, how do you use Twitter then to your advantage to share out your campaigns? Like, are you tagging like certain groups? Um, are you using that?
For
Like the little
Twitter,
hashtags. Are you hitting certain creators like they get noticed a lot? Like, uh, what are you doing that way to take advantage of that system? So,
for Twitter, I'm pretty new to it. I mean, on the marketing side of it. Before I was not pushing it, and to be totally honest, what did happen with the Comics Gate stuff and stuff like that really put my eyes on Twitter. I'm someone that really analyze what's going on everywhere, and I'm really fascinated by social media as well. So
mhm.
it's a passion for me, social media, and I always like that, and looking at the news for the new algorithms and stuff like that. They're all the boring thing that no one will look at.
Yeah, to me, social media is kind of a necessary evil because I'm older, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I
So
hate being out there, but at the same time, I'm out here now, so it's like I'm trying to navigate these waters and figure out what's going on. So yeah.
for me, before I was like a 100% Facebook guy. I love Facebook, all this build, and I feel that Facebook is kind of an internet in the internet with the group, the marketplace where you can sell stuff, you can
Mhm.
chat on Messenger. So for me, it was like a perfect platform, and I still think it's a really perfect platform, even if there is like some problem like every platform. But for Twitter, I've recently really get into it again with the Comicsgate stuff. Because when I did look at those guys, I was like, wow, man, there is so many comic book guy on that platform that I did not know they were there before that. They really
Mhm.
needed a bomb that was happening, like a new bomb that just like, and you discover that there is a population that was living there, and that's at that moment I understood, yeah, there is comic book people on Twitter and I need to engage with them. So what I do is pretty simple. Like I'm pretty regular in my social media stuff. For example, for Facebook, I take like 15 to 30 minutes a day that I just go into groups or into Messenger to engage with other people. Like, hey,
Okay.
what's going on with your project? I want to know what's where you are. I go in the chat and I ask question or I think I like and stuff like that. Same thing for Instagram. I can be like 15 minutes of liking and commenting on posts and discovering. So it's the same thing for Twitter. Um, I will be looking, for example, I will take Taylor because he is in the chat. I go to Taylor Twitter. I check to his followers and I just click on them and I check what they're doing. They're a comic book guy. Cool. Let's engage with them and just like, hey, dude, what are you reading? What's your next book or whatever? So I think it's really social media at where we are because we're not like Will Smith or Jack Black opening a YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
It's really one-on-one development. You cannot make miracle when you don't have like a 1 million marketing strategy behind.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
one-on-one strategy on every platform.
Mhm. So Tyler was asking, does it mean that Brad needs to hone in on handyman for the next 2 years? 2 years of my life. Yeah.
um, as an
No.
artist, I think as an artist is totally different
Mm-hmm.
because an artist we follow them for the style and not the genre. I think that's the big difference between creators and writers. Because for example, I really love Victor Santos that did like the Polar graphic novel and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he did another series, Crime Villains. He did another series, and they were totally different series. But I dig his style, so I'm gonna buy it anyway. And other artists like that, we buy it for the style and not the content. That's the big
Mm-hmm.
difference I think between writer and creators. And I think at some point you can get out of it's something that has been said yesterday in Joint Talk, I think as well. It's something that as a writer you need to stay on something because at first I think when it is a first project, stay on it. And the reason why it is that you are right now building a community, you don't have a community or you have like
Mm-hmm.
part of it. So it's important to start a project, finish it. I think whatever what you should finish a project because you're gonna give a bad impression. Like, okay, man, I got 2 issues of a 5 issue series last time, so why would I bag his next EP? Or,
Yeah.
for example, there is so many creators that do like okay, I do an issue of that series on Kickstarter, and like 3 months after, there is an issue for another series. So you got like 10 number one in 1 years and no number two. I'm just like, I got 24 pages of 10 stories, but I don't even know what's your style and what you're going, what you can do with me for writing. So I think to really show, like, that's a problem, that there is a lot of writers that just want to like make 10 EP a year and cross their finger to have like a big Hollywood deal that come out of nowhere, or I don't know, like just show off who they are. But I think the really good way to show off who you are is actually stay longer as you can on a series and put all your energy. You know, if I was like, for example, if I was on 15 series at the moment I did launch the Glaxial Kickstarter, I will not have raised like 450% of my goal, because my energy will be on dealing with this artist, making this book with the other artist, promoting the other thing coming out. So you cannot put 100% of your energy on one thing at a time when you have 10 things running. So it's something really important. Build your brand. And the way to show off your writing is not having 10 things really different with different environment, different creators, different genre. I think that the way to really show off who you are and really get the interest of readers, actually start a cult, a fucking religion. Look at what Robert Kirkman is doing or did with Invincible, The Walking Dead, and all these things. Or Todd McFarlane again with Spawn. Or I could discuss it like that, but the indie comics we remember is the indie comics that has a lot of issue, and the indie comics creators that works are indie creators that made series at first that got a lot of issues, and you had time to really connect with them, understand their genre and pattern and the way they write and the way they think. So it's the same thing for when you buy a product, for example, or when you go to a restaurant. Like the first time you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to try a plate. You go back to the restaurant, you're going to probably take the same thing because you did love that hamburger. That hamburger was fucking great. So I come back to that place, I try the hamburger. Third time, you take the same hamburger. Fourth time, you take the same hamburger because you love it. And 5 times, you're like, oh, maybe I could try something else different on the menu.
Yeah.
And you will do it. And the same thing for comics. People want that. Okay, now I'm comfortable and I like what you do. I'm sure. And so I'm going to try another thing. So just work in the way consumer and reader work.
Perfect that one burger essentially first. And then once you have that perfected, then expand your reach.
And I'm not saying you should make like 300 issues like Walking Dead.
No.
But like there is P.S. Melter in the chat. It says,
I was just going to ask you that question. He's curious on if your books are one-offs or limited runs, or do they have no end to them?
Oh, it could be limited. Like, for example, another creator that inspired me a lot with Glaxial, the format I'm doing. For example, Bob Sally. I don't know if you know him. He runs Salvagers. It's a sci-fi comics that there is like 10 issue that has been Kickstarter on Kickstarter. So what he did, it's a couple of mini-series that goes into an ongoing, so he can finish wherever you want, and he can continue wherever you want. So my first run of Glaxial is 4 issues, but I already have planned like 20 issues. It's just like mini-series that continue, that I can stop every time. For example, I still keep the same characters. There is kind of an ending, like if it was the first movie, for example. But I can continue the story after that if there is interest and if I want to continue wherever I am in my life. So I think that miniseries that are part of the ongoing is the way to go. Even like Todd McFarlane do that with Spawn. He can make like 4 issue that is around, and after, boom, we'll continue on something else that will be 6 issues long. So he can stop the story if readers don't like it, or if you're just tired of it, or continue of it. Like, there is no rules, but I think that being ongoing and never say that it's going to be the end is the way to go. But stay limited, like make miniseries. And the reason why it's not realistic to say, hey, I'm doing a 25 issue miniseries when you are an indie. It will take you 10 years because you don't have the budget. You're going to release it through Kickstarter and probably in issue format. So it's going to take you years and years and years, and you cannot touch any other project at the same time. And I know as a writer, I do have myself like 30 other ideas of series, but I'm focusing on that one because the one that got, first of all, a sell success. Like I sell a lot of copies, I got a lot of backers, so I need to push that, and I have fun doing it, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something really, really important. Like make mini series into an ongoing thing. Never say that that's the end when you know that you can sell more, because it's really, really rare for a creator to have a series that sell, you know, or for anything, or like even a TV series, even a web series or a novel series, it's hard to sell something to people. So when you get an audience, stick to it as long as you can if you want to make a living of your thing. It's the most important thing. If you want to make a living of your thing, stick to what sells, and don't go in 20 direction and stop pushing that idea. That's will be like the biggest mistake ever.
Mm. And so I know Kickstarter has a social element aspect to it, where if you're going to post another project, people who've seen it before or bought your project before, they get a notification about it, even if they don't follow you on social media. Is that right?
Yeah. So that is something pretty interesting about it. You can follow creators on Kickstarter. It's not like a Facebook or Twitter that you got to feed and etc.
Yeah.
That could be awesome. To a Kickstarter lesson to me. Watch the fucking channel of Pencil for Life and listen to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something really cool. You can follow creators that you like on social media, or creators that you have already backed. So when I launch on the next project, right now there is like 400 person that click the follow button on Kickstarter from me. They're gonna get a notification on their cell phone and an email, I think, when I launch my new project. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And when you got a Facebook friends that back a project on Kickstarter, if you got the Kickstarter app on your cell phone, you get a notification of, like, for example, I don't know, Jimmy Curtis just backed the project by Kevin Roditeli. So you got a notification on your cell phone, and you can check and like wow, that's cool. So that's a way that you're gonna make a lot of new person that you don't know where they came from, just by friends of friends that did back the project.
That's a good idea. And then what's the thing about you need to have 30% funded the first 24 hours to get posted on the page, like Kickstarter page up front, right?
Oh, you talk about the project we love and stuff like that. Yeah. No, that's totally not true.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, actually, the team of Kickstarter, that's pretty random. There is no standard in some way, but it's sure that if it looks like shit, they won't do it. But they select. There is someone paid in the building somewhere in the Kickstarter office that select project we love. That is project they're gonna highlight on their on page, or comics on page and stuff like. Probably do newsletters. So it's a really big plus. For example, for myself with my project, I know I got a couple of backers that did see it as a project we love, but no, there is no like you need to be really big in the first time. There is like project, or even one of my previous project as a publisher that had no like 8 backers in 3 days that got project we love. So you can be a project that fell and get project we love. It's just like, hey, someone in the Kickstarter team really love what you do, so we will push it, you know.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's kind of like when you did go to the about every comic book store, you got like this staff pick in some way.
Now I was looking at your tiers and rewards and things like that you have on Indiegogo. Do you leave them the same as on Kickstarter so nobody feels left out, or do you offer different things on different platforms?
Yeah, it's totally different. Kickstarter, I did put a lot of tiers and a lot of rewrites and stuff like that. For Indiegogo, for me, it was just a way for people that didn't miss the Kickstarter to be sure that it can get a copy, because at that point when I launched the Indiegogo and finished a campaign, I did not know what will be my business model and all. I will distribute Kickstarter Glaxial. So something I wanted to do is going directly to publishers when I finish issue 1. So I was like, oh, maybe it will take like a year before anyone could get a Glaxial copy. So Endowment is the way that you can get it.
Okay.
But so what I did with Endowment is just like put basic rewares. You got like the book, a print, and a T-shirt. I think nothing more.
Yeah.
So it's what I wanted. Keep it simple. It's just a way for people that miss it, and at the same time, Kickstarter stuff stay exclusive. Even on Indiegogo, the wrap cover was not available on Kickstarter, so it's something new that we could not take on Kickstarter. So everything on Kickstarter stay exclusive, and everything on Indiegogo is kind of exclusive as well.
Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking about doing these covers on Handyman, where it's a sketch cover on one side, and then where it's like two of the four characters, and then a sketch cover on the other one with the other two characters of the four. So I was thinking about doing something like that. So
this is a pretty good idea. As an artist, you should push like drawing reviewers and stuff like that. Like something that really, really worked for us, it's sketch covers, like as early birds. Like first one at back, you got a really cheap sketch cover. The hour was like $50. You get sketch covers if you're one of the first backers. And honestly, that's something that did bring us like to 500 in I think 30 minutes because of
really? Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, we got funded in like a day, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I'm trying to think of any other questions right now. You've been so full of information today. It's been kind of great.
I'm in fire.
You're fire, yeah. What do you have for? Okay, let's think. I'm trying to think about how to word this. So I don't want to fail again, right? That's why I'm kind of worried about it. I don't want to fail again, because I've got a lot riding on this. And, this is why also I'm splitting between two Indiegogos. So like, I know how much I want to make or need to make. When you set your funding goals, right, for your campaign, are you doing, what you really want to make on the Kickstarter one, and then just kind of what's left over on Indiegogo? Or are you like making it smaller on Kickstarter first, and then if you need to make up any extra, you can change that on Indiegogo at all? So
no, because my Indiegogo was not planed. It's something that it's someone directly from Indiegogo that did contact me. And
okay.
Yeah, I think they do that for like big campaigns. I know another one had been contacted like that as well. So they contacted me and said, okay, you did it pretty well on Kickstarter. Would you be interested to make an Indiegogo endowment on the platform? First of all, I was like, oh no, I don't want, because I thought it was like lack of respect for the people that backed me first on Kickstarter. And I got like a lot of tweet. There is a big Indiegogo community on Twitter because of all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of dude was contacting me and say, hey, would he be available in Indiegogo? So I finally said yes for those guys. So I'm not even promoting the Indiegogo for that reason. It's like I'm not running a second campaign for me. It's just like a way to get the book while we'll finish production.
Well, you made quite a bit on it. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, dang, dude, without much marketing, I mean, you made almost 10K. So
no, actually, what they do is actually they have money on your Kickstarter goal. So it's my Kickstarter goal plus the extra money we did.
Oh, okay. So so you made 10,000 combined then?
Yeah, 10,000 USD because since I'm in Quebec, it's a Canadian dollar, so it's pretty more low in Canadian dollars. So we did raise like 11,000 something in Canadian dollar on Kickstarter. And so we did that on Indiegogo, and it is USD. I don't know why.
No,
Indiegogo, but yeah, I guess they're not fiscal freak.
Oh, okay. So no, what I mean is, so you made the 11,000 on Kickstarter, and then you made an additional like 10,000 on Indiegogo, right?
Like 1,000 on Indiegogo maximum.
Oh, just 1,000. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's. Okay. But like I said, I'm not running it. Just people saying, I want a copy. Okay, cool. Go on the platform and take it. But my initial goal on Kickstarter was just $2,500 Canadian. So it's around $2,000. Was
that just your minimum print run, pretty much?
It was the print run price. Nothing. And the reason why I did not know that honestly that the book was going to blow up and get over 500 backers. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that, so I was pretty insecure. And I think that every creator is at the beginning of running a campaign. You feel insecure. Will I have a backer? Will someone be interested in my book? And you just like
Yeah.
freak out. So, and I remember I was like changing my goal every 5 CN before launching. I could, it could be okay, or maybe $200,
Yeah.
or maybe just a cafe at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So I did run it like that, and the reason that I did put it so low, and I did not want to have a high goal. I just wanted to cover my printing costs, and the reason why is because my goal was to reach a goal the fastest as possible. Because after that, you play the stretch goal game, and this is
Mm.
something that a lot of creators don't do, and I think that's the best advice I can give to anyone. When you break your goal, it's not the end of the campaign. You can
Yeah.
play. It's where the game actually begins,
Mm-hmm.
because you first objective is actually to reach a goal really fast. So you take your backers and you say, let's do that in one day, guys, and you make it in one day, and everyone is like, woohoo, we did it in team. And after you put another goal, like, hey, we need 1,000, and you get an extra covers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone is like, okay, I'm sharing around, I want that cover, it's so fucking cool. So boom, you got first stretch goal the next day, and after, I need 2 more 1,000 because I will have 2 pages in that book. So they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I want 2 more pages. I want to pay for something bigger. So they're gonna share around, and you're gonna get more backers. So it's
Yeah.
really, really important to play with a straight goal. It's for that every campaign I do, I put the lowest goal that I can be without going bankrupt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm leaning towards a more moderate goal for my campaign, which we can talk about after. So, but
Sure.
just because I was hearing from some people who've done a lot of research on campaigns that you don't want to be too low, but you don't want to be too high. You know, you want to be in that sweet spot. There's a sweet
Yeah.
spot in between. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and the reason why it is that when you're too low, but of course, there, if you don't do like the stretch goal game like I did, that you really interact with the backers and say, let's do it, people would just stop actually funding your project, because they will be like, oh, there is nothing more to do here. You will like make the book and that's it. And
Okay.
if it's too high, everyone was like, be fuck, man, I want back that project. It will never happen. It's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, it's for those reasons you really need to find a sweet spot. And same thing as well. You know, you don't want to be stressed out that 2 days before the end of your campaign there is still left like $5,000 to raise, and you need to drink like 15 coffee and maybe pop like Molly or sniff cocaine to be awake to finish your campaign. So, and for me, it's for that I was a really low goal as well, because like I funded first day, so the weekend I was off. Like that's something I will not do again. But I was really, really lazy when I was running the campaign. I could probably double what I did if I was really into it, but I did not feel any fatigue. So when my campaign finished, I was just like fucking lazy, having fun, doing my stuff, and having no problem. My life was going normally. I was not like not going to my day job at the time, because I had a day job when I was running that, and so everything was going. My life did not change when I was running a campaign. I know so many traders that just like for 1 month they disappear. They stay there in front of the PC, just like refreshing the page every fucking minute, and just go crazy with it.
My goal is to be on as many shows as possible and to live stream my artwork process during the campaign. But I'm also leaning towards something that. So I was a part of a board game, and they came out last year. And they got funded in the first 8 hours on Kickstarter. But they did an interesting approach. They had stretch goals, but they did not have tiers. They had one price point only. And then everybody who supported, right, got all the additional items. So it was quite an interesting approach. So once they reached a certain amount, boom, everybody got this. Once they reached a certain amount, boom, everybody got that. I know it's probably not reasonable to do with a comic, but there's certain things I was thinking like you can do, like throw in a print for everybody because it's relatively cheap to do. Everybody can get a print, You make it the same size as the comic, so it can be shipped the same way. You know, stickers, some bookmarks, things like that you can add on top of it. Extra pages that everybody will get for stretch goals. Something everybody can get for a stretch goal.
Yeah. It's kind of what I did, but not every stretch goal was for everyone. But I did put like stretch goal that everyone was getting, like extra pages, or we put in. We're gonna send you like a behind the scene PDF with like sketches and stuff like that we did through the creation of the world. So we did stretch goal like that everyone got. But for board game, I think it's a really cool idea. But for comic book, I think it's kind of impossible to just have one tiers because you get like digital and print
and variant covers, things like that. But
yeah, the culture of comic books is slightly different than game, like with the variant covers and the sketch and the stuff like that. It's not possible, but the idea of giving stuff to everyone.
Well, I think all the stretch goals should be
totally
able to be given to everybody. So
it's something I'm gonna it's something I'm gonna do for my next campaign probably because
I've just seen lots of campaigns where they will if we reach 20,000, if you're this level you get this, if you're this level you get that. I think it's kind of makes it too complicated.
Because it's something I did for myself, like you unlock this variant cover and you can add like money on it and stuff like that to get it. The problem with it that I don't like and why I stopped doing it for my next campaign, it is that it's so much like capitalism stuff that I did. Like you need to put more money, but those people are already like contributing to your success, making your dream possible. So without them, nothing was possible. So right now you're like reaching the sky, like making more money. Honestly, with my Kickstarter, I made profit on it. Like I was not supposed to make over 10Ks. I was supposed to make like $2,000. So I did pay my debt. My core was paid and everything with that. So all the money I owned to people was clear after that. I was like, wow, man, you're changing my life. And that was real. So I think that it's something I will change for stretch goal. I want everyone to get something, not just like I'm not adding a product that you need to give me money again. Like I feel like Ripsy or I don't know Dick Cheney, like type of dude. I just want everyone. You like I said at the beginning, you are my producer, so you made a good job. I give you a bonus. Like when you make a blockbuster as a producer, like if there is like a good Rotten Tomatoes score or a good box office, you're gonna get a bonus from the studio. So it's the same. I'm in the studio. You're my producer.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm gonna be doing is because I've been giving a lot of thought about it ever since I failed the first one. So I'm probably gonna be between 6 and 10 tiers, depending on different items I offer, and then but every stretch goal that we hit, everybody's gonna get it. So being maybe some sketch, a mini sketchbook in the back. Or in a print I'm going to be doing, maybe upgrading everybody to just a variant cover instead, it
could be even like digital stuff. For example, I don't know, like if Taylor agree, you can give like issue number 1 of Demon to everyone or stuff like that. So you can even take like PDF or make stuff like be creative and have no cost and make everyone happy. Happy with what you give. So there is some ways to not invest more money and not make more.
Yeah. You just want to give them that feeling that they're getting their money's worth though when they purchase it, Yeah. So,
totally.
Yeah, I get you. All right, cool, man. Awesome. Well, Kevin, dude, I think we're gonna wrap it up, but dude, thanks for coming.
It was a pleasure, man. Anytime you want to make your life like that every day, I will. I have so much fun, man. I have so much fun doing stuff like this. It's for that I'm starting my own YouTube channel, and I will check what will be the size and all the concept I will do. But man, I love doing shows like that, so I'm gonna start something on my channel as well. Because
all right, cool. I put your link I put your links in the chat for your Indiegogo and for your YouTube channel throughout the show. Yeah, and I'll put it in the description at the end as well, so people can see this if they're going to watch later. But yeah, I'll have you back on, dude. You're a fun guy to talk to, and maybe I'll have you critique my campaign once we go live mid-February when we throw it up on. Well, right before we go live, you know, and or we'll have a live party. Yo, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Let's do a get 10 people on, and then we'll have a live party right when we hit go, and you know, go from there. So I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'm gonna make a sangria if you want.
Sure, you can have sangria all you want. I don't drink personally. I'm more
But okay, I will send you the piñata so you can just grab candy and stuff like that.
Yeah, just hit it. Yeah. Watch my fat butt get up there and just hitting it. Yeah, there we go.
It's amazing, dude. I love fat butts. Okay, let's finish on that.
All right, dude. Hey, tell everybody where they can get a hold of you. No, tell everybody where they can get a hold of you. Your YouTube.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry, man. Yeah. I was understanding Taylor. I think you were talking to Taylor.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Kevin Roditeli. You just write that, you're gonna find me. There is also the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram of Glaxial. So you just write Glaxial with an X. So GLAX. I don't know my letters in English. Let's stop there. But you can just now my YouTube channel that's gonna be in the description of that live, I think. So you can follow me right there. In February, I start content on it. So that's pretty much it. And there is KevinRoditeli.com.
Cool. Well, everybody, thanks for listening to the show today. I know I kind of bumbled through it a little bit, but I'm learning just like everybody else. Anyways, I'm Brad, Pencil for Life. You guys have a great day, and God bless.
Subscribe. This guy is cool as fuck.